Welcome to episode 3 of Basics and Beyond, the podcast. Today we are going to discuss the scale. Yes, that piece of equipment many of us have in our homes, and how most of us see the scale, see the number on the scale, how it affects us, and why you shouldn't let it bother you. We're going to dive deep into what that scale really tells us, what we should really take from it, and how we should really use that number to benefit the progress we want to make toward our goals. Come on in, join me, and invite your friends. Welcome, everyone, to the third episode of Basics and Beyond, the podcast. I love saying that. Anyway, so good to have you here today. Hopefully you were able to listen, maybe even watch on YouTube, the previous episode when I had Nick calling in on as my special guest. He's an amazing person. And if you haven't had an opportunity, hopefully you get an opportunity to take a listen. This week, though, it's you and me. I'm so excited. I love just talking, you and I, about specific things. Today, we're going to get specific. The last few weeks, I have launched a group coaching offer, and we've been talking a lot, and I've been talking to other people, even weird, about the scale as a data point. And it's so interesting to me. This isn't the first time this has happened, obviously. Lots of us are very focused on the number on the scale, and we've been taught to do that. It doesn't matter when you grew up. It doesn't matter how old you are. From the moment you are born, they talk to you or talk to your parents, they being pretty much anyone in the medical community, about what your weight is, right? It's a data point to track overall health. It is a data point, though. It is not the data point. It is not the ultimate data point. So today we're going to talk about that data point in particular, and what good can come of it and what good cannot come of it, particularly if we're highly focused on the scale, on that number. So let's jump right in. There are many data points that we can use to assess whether we're making progress toward our goals. That being said, each one of us has different goals that we're trying to attain. So keeping that in mind is very, very important when we are deciding what data points to use. Okay. So if I strictly want to lose weight, my only goal is to lose weight. And by God, I hope that is not your only goal. Like, I hope there's something deeper going on with that goal. However, if it really is just to lose weight, we're going to look at different data points than if your goal is to get on stage and do a bodybuilding competition, or just get ready and do the work to do a bodybuilding competition, but maybe not get on stage. Or if you want to lift really heavy, if you want to do a power, like not power building, why can't I figure it out? A powerlifting competition, right? That is a different set of metrics that we're going to use, data points that we would use to gauge progress toward your goal. If you want to run a marathon, totally different data points that we're going to talk about. If to reach that goal, we're going to mainly look at specific data points related to the goal that you're going for. So keeping that in mind, yes, the weight that your body is at can enhance your progress. It can enhance your journey toward that goal. It could just be the goal, which is kind of weird. And we'll talk about why it's probably not a good goal to just have, I'm not even going to say probably, it is not a good goal to just have a number on the scale as your end point. Like, I have arrived, I'm successful, right? We need to have something different than that. However, it can help us along our journey. That being said, there are other data points. Let's talk about those, and we're going to come back to the scale. So other data points that you can use, you know what? I'm going to back that up. Let's not go there yet. Let's talk about that data point of this scale. Let's do that first. So the scale, what does it actually measure? Don't know? Not sure? Need some words? I got it for you. The scale really only measures the amount of gravity that's pushing down on you. That's it. It's a gravity thing. Really? It's that scale is a compilation of how much your bones weigh, how much fluid you have in your body, how much fat mass you have, how much lean muscle mass you have, how much water you have in your hair. Honestly, swear to God. You can lose weight, like that scale can fluctuate for a variety of reasons, right? Like if you have more clothes on, right? Your scale is weighing your clothes too, right? Especially if you wear shoes when you're on the scale, don't do that. So the scale is weighing everything. If we think about physical things, the scale is weighing every physical thing associated with this thing that you are living in. Okay. Hair, nails, water, muscle, bone, fat, clothes, everything. That's what the scale physically measures. That's how the number shows up for you, is everything physically. Okay. It doesn't delineate between muscle and fat. It doesn't delineate between bone and skin and organs and those kinds of things. It doesn't tell you any of those things. The scale does not do that. And we'll get into the body measurement things later, but the scale does not do that. That number on the scale is not going to tell you anything except the compilation of all the physical attributes that you have going on with you on that day at that specific time, period. What it also tells you is it can give you a little story. And here's the interesting part about it. That story can change. So if you weigh yourself in the morning, right when you get up, say you go to the bathroom, don't eat food, don't drink anything, get naked, jump on the scale. That's the best time to do it, by the way. Best way to weigh yourself right away in the morning, after you go to the bathroom, before you drink or eat anything, don't have anything on, jump on the scale. Okay. So you weigh yourself then. And then here's an interesting thing to do. You probably don't want to do this, but you can. As you go throughout your day and you live your life and a variety of things happen and the temperature is different and you do different activities during the day and you have different physical stressors on you have different mental stressors on you, all those things. When you get into the afternoon and evening, if you weigh yourself again, it's going to be completely different. And if you do that every day, you're going to notice definite fluctuations that occur in your weight, because our weight generally will fluctuate a little bit each day from day to day, depending on what we do. It also depends on your sleep. Sleep is a huge, huge piece to the puzzle as to what that scale is going to say to you, right? Everything that we do, everything we eat, everything we consume, all the actions that we take, all the thoughts that we think, the sleep that we get or don't get has to kind of culminate in that number on the scale, including everything you ate, everything you drank, the clothes that you're wearing, like all the things we've talked about comes across in that one little number. So it's very difficult to take that one little number and suss out how to make it different. It's very difficult to take that one little number and say, well, these are the things that I need to change, and that this is why that number is bad, because the number isn't bad or good. It's just a number of, and showing you an accumulation of all the things. That number changes. That number changes. The most important thing to remember about the scale number is that it is not measuring your progress toward your goal. It's giving you one small data point to say, hey, some factors, whatever they may be, are changing from day to day. And when we look at the factors that change, all those factors that can change, we want to make sure we're optimizing all of those factors so that we move you toward your goal. So that number on the scale gives us an opportunity to ask more questions. That's all that scale number does, right? That scale number does not tell us how good we are today or how bad we are today. That scale number doesn't tell us how much we're worth on the planet or how happy or sad we should be. The number on the scale gives us an opportunity to ask some really good questions so that we can get closer to our goal. That's all it does. So some questions we can ask if we're looking at the number on the scale. If the number on the scale has fluctuated, we can ask questions like this. How much water or how much liquid did we drink yesterday? What did we drink yesterday? If you had alcohol, that number is going to go crazy. I'm just saying, right? We know this. Okay. How much did we eat yesterday? What did we eat yesterday? That can make things vary. If you eat a lot of fried foods, boy, that number is going to move around. Okay. Or if you don't eat enough, that can go up or down. You just never know. How much sleep did we get? How good was our sleep? Our sleep really, really impacts that number on that scale because our sleep impacts our health, right? We can ask ourselves questions like, how much effort did we put in yesterday physically into our movement? Did we go for walks? Did we do too much? Did we do too little? Did we strength train? Did we not strength train? All of those things. Were we stressed out yesterday? Was it a highly stressful day? Did we have a lot of things running through our head? That can impact the number on the scale. So the number on the scale allows us to ask questions and find out what toggles we can move to help us get closer to our goal. And it can help us answer questions as to the things that are working and the things that are not. But it's really more about looking at the number and asking questions to find out if we are moving towards our goal or if we are not. That's it. That's the number on the scale. That's it. It cannot tell us the specifics that we assign to it in our head. So what we generally do is we get on the scale and we go, oh, please God. And I've done this. I can't tell you how many times. I get on the scale and I exhale and I look up and go, oh, and I think about the number I want to see. And then I look down. And if I see it, I get excited or something close to it, right? If I see a higher number, I might not be excited. And I might ruminate about that all day long. And that number could, that's generally what happens, right? If we don't see the number that we want to see, here's what we do. We take it, we make it, we mold it into this big, huge baseball bat, and we beat ourselves up with it every minute of the day. Running in the back of your mind all day long is this number, and you're feeling a certain way about it, right? You can do the opposite though, right? If you see a really good number, I'm doing air quotes. If you see the number that you want to see, let's put it that way, you can have a great day because of that number. Okay. However, the greatness of your day should not be dictated by a number that you see on the scale. The greatness of your day should be dictated by your mindset, by your interactions with other people, by the experiences you have, by being present in the moment and looking for the good things, by knowing that your body is highly capable of doing what you want it to do, that you're a functioning human on the planet, that you're thoughtful and you're kind and you're smart. There is an entire list of things that should make your day wonderful that are not a number on the scale. So that's where our downfall is we start to attach a ton of emotional information to the number on the scale, when in fact, the number on the scale, your weight, is one data point that is not very valid. There are so many pieces to the puzzle that make up that number on the scale that we shouldn't be using it for something that it is not meant to be used for. Stop using it for evil. Let's use it for good. Don't use the number on the scale for evil. Use it for good, just like heroes do. You take the number and you ask some really good questions. How am I feeling today? If the number on the scale makes you feel a certain way, stop doing that. You don't have to weigh yourself every day. You have to weigh yourself every week. So this brings us to the point. If the number on the scale is holding power over you in a negative way or in a positive way. Because here's the deal. If that number is making you super happy, I guarantee you the next day, if that number doesn't come back the way you want it to, it's going to make you super mad or super unhappy or super disappointed. Let's list all the negative emotions. So, and there will come a day where that number isn't what you want it to be. And I'll tell you what, if you're one of those people like I was anorexic, I was bulimic, and I would hit a number goal on that scale, and it would be great for a short period of time, a couple days, maybe a week. And then I would want it to be lower. And that happened repeatedly. It happened repeatedly. I'm not sure what my goal was, but a 0 on the scale is not a good goal. You can't keep that number keep going and going and going down. It doesn't happen. So let's talk about different data points. The scale is one data point. It can help us ask more questions about what is going on. That is why that data point is so important. So I want you to keep that in mind. If you get nothing else out of this podcast today, it is that the data point is just something, that scale number is just a data point to help you ask more questions. That's it. What data points should we be looking at? What data points can we be looking at? Well, that depends on your goal, right? So there's 3 great data points that are super helpful. Whether you want to gain weight, whether you want to lose weight, you want a body recomp, you want to build some muscle, which is seriously, let's just take a time out and be honest. Most people who say they want to lose weight, if they look the way they want to look, which usually means I want to be able to see my muscles, which means I'm going to drop fat, not weight. If I'm dropping fat and I'm gaining muscle, and maybe I don't hit that number goal, guess what? I'm probably going to be okay, right? So let's just be honest about that. Okay, so 3 things that you can measure that are going to help you understand better if you are aiming and progressing towards the correct goal for you. Here they are. Take your measurements. You can take them every week. I do my measurements every week. They aren't going to necessarily change every week. So you could probably do it every 2, right? Don't go crazy with it. It's really about your comfort level. I wouldn't do it more often than once a week. So once a week, once every other week, once a month, take your measurements. Okay. Generally what we say, it's nice to see the bicep, the chest, the belly button. Some people do lower abdomen, hips. If you're a dude, you're going to do your hips, right? Because you're built different than women. And a thigh is nice because you can, a thigh is nice, just is. So just super basic. Make sure that, here's the key to that, right? Find a spot on your body. So for example, like a lot of people say belly button because your belly button is right there. It's easy to find that spot again. You want to make sure you're measuring in the same spot and not like willy-nilly. So if you have a mole and you're going to line it up with your mole, right? That's a great thing to do. Make sure like if you're doing your bicep, you're not flexed. Make sure you don't flex your thigh. Don't suck it in. You know what I mean? Just be super honest about it. It's okay, right? Don't suck it in. Don't tighten up that, measuring tape. And by the way, you have to use a measuring tape. Like use a seamstress's measuring tape. It's you can't use a ruler. It doesn't work, right? You got to get it around your body. So find kind of that thing on your body that's not going to move, like a mole or a belly button, right? Or a wrinkle. I don't know, whatever you happen to have there. Scars are great little roadmaps to find, where you're going to do your measurements. So measurements is one. Another one is pictures once a week. Oh, pictures can tell the cliche is true. That's why they're cliches, right? A picture tells 1,000 words. Take your pictures once a week. Here's the key to your pictures. Go to the bathroom. Get up in the morning. Go to the bathroom. Put the same clothing on. And it can't be a big baggy sweatshirt because we can't see your body. So put some shorty shorts on or a bikini. I mean, you can do a bikini. You can do a bathing suit, shorty shorts and a sports bra, that kind of thing, right? Take your pictures. You have a phone. There is a timer on it. I promise you, there's a timer on it. Set up the phone in the same spot, in the same room, with the same lighting. You're wearing the same clothes. Hit the timer, stand in the same spot, take your picture. Seriously, if you need help with the picture thing, let me know. But you have to wear the same clothes. You want to take all the variables out of it, because if you're like me and I look at my pictures, I'm like, well, the lighting was different. That's why I look better or worse. No, same lighting, same time of day, same outfit, same spot in the house. Click the picture, front, side, back. Pictures can tell so much, because here's the thing. You might be the same weight on the scale. Your clothes might fit the same. You might feel the same. Your measurements may not have changed, but those pictures can look very different. They can look very different because inflammation comes and goes, and you may see some muscles poking out that you didn't see before. And by the way, in all of these things, particularly pictures, it's really, really nice to have that third party objective person to look at your pictures and go, no, I do see a difference, right? Because most often when we look at our own pictures, we are the worst people about it. I know, it's like all you do is look at those spots that you always look at and go, oh, that's not perfect, right? Sometimes it's nice to have a separate set of eyes on it. So get a separate set of eyes on it. So there. So we have measurements, we have pictures once a week. And last but not least, this one is really, really easy. How do your clothes fit? How do your clothes fit? Those clothes that you grab, you know the ones I'm talking about, the pants and the shirt. It's usually pants, right? How are they fitting? You grab them right out of the dryer, put them on, and you know if you have made progress or if you haven't, based on how your clothes are fitting. And everyone has that one pair of pants, or maybe two, right? Everyone has that one outfit. Maybe it's a dress. I don't know. Maybe it's just a shirt, but everyone has that one outfit that you go, that's kind of the measurement outfit. You know it. Admit it. It's okay. And if it's 10, 12, 15 years old, that's fine. All right. Grab that, put it on, see how it feels. So instead of the scale, and instead of adding so much emphasis and so much importance to the number on the scale and giving it all this emotional power over you, the number on the scale is one data point to get us to ask further questions. That's all it does. Gives us the opportunity to ask better and further questions about where we are in our progress towards our goals. Then we look at our other data points. We do measurements. We do pictures. We ask, how are we feeling in our clothes? We ask ourselves, how's my energy? Like, how am I every day? How am I feeling every day? Do I have energy? Those are much, much more important questions to ask when wondering how you are making toward your progress toward your goals, and if you're getting closer to your goals. And when you look at those data points, then you can ask yourself the questions. What am I doing that is moving me in this direction? Because those actions that you're taking are really the important things. So hopefully I've cleared up a little bit for you. It's been a minute here. Hopefully we've talked enough about the scale and taken some power away from that scale. The only power it has is the power that you give it. Stop giving it power. I want you to take your power back. And that is my purpose in this podcast and in my coaching business and in everything I do, is to help women in particular, but men also. Come on, men. It is your time too. Take your power back, live your power, and stop giving it away to all of these things that don't matter. When something you come across, like the number on the scale, and it makes you feel a certain way, the best thing you can do is step back, take your power back, and ask the good questions. And in that vein, if you have questions for me, you just let me know. I'm right here. Drop a question, hit my website, find me on socials. I'll answer your question on socials. And if you have a topic for this podcast, I would love to hear it, because I want to talk about the things that you want to know about and the things that you want to hear. Make it a great day.